as volatile as this and play to advantage because he was upset about the BuzzFeed story?
Well, Chris, I think it's a continual that he sees so much media coverage that's not true and unfair towards him. And so when he sees this happen to other people, he understands what they're dealing with when immediately
I hear your
argument. To something
I hear the argument. It's just so hard to accept, Angela, because I've never seen a man in elected office, let alone the presidency, dissemble, divide, misstate, and lie as often as this president has. So the idea that he's offended by things that aren't accurate, it's a little hard to believe.
Well, and not only is it hard to believe, it's hard to accept. I wish that for one moment, right, we can talk about what we see, because people are talking about, well, you know, what is happening right now as a result of what happened in this particular incident is our varying perspectives, and I think that's such a powerful point. Like, forget Donald Trump for a moment and just think about the symbol of that red hat. When I see the Make America Great Again hat now, Chris, I am triggered. I'm so triggered. Andre, I think in a lot of ways our friendship has been compromised by the fact that you continue to support this man. The one thing I will say to you, to be absolutely fair, is more than anybody else that I know on this network, you will regularly take Donald Trump to task. I don't agree with you on this last point, but this Make America Great Again hat is just as maddening and frustrating and triggering for me to look at as a KKK hood. Like, that is the type of hatred that his policies represent. And until we can have common ground and understanding about that it's that triggering, we're going to continue to have problems.
Final word, Andre.
But I would just say, you don't let people run around in your head rent-free. There are things that offend me, but I don't let them offend me. A lot of people take that red hat that they believe we elected an individual that was willing to take on everybody from Wall Street to the media to go in and drain the swamp and clean Washington out and put this country back on the path to where we believed America was first, and to make it great again, to where we looked after the people in this country first and foremost. And there's a lot of unheard people in America that felt like Donald Trump was the
When was it great, Andre?
Well, look,
when was it great, Andre?
I don't believe that it's not great now, but there have been days
when was it great again? Tell me the year.
You know the problem
to get better.
Yeah, I know. Andre's being smart, because anytime you go into our past, you would have to be.
At Country Inn and Suites by Radisson, we're on the way to wherever you're going.
To be identifying a period where we were not as free and equal as we are today. And that's the problem with something that inherently asks us to look back to an earlier time. To Angela's point about being sensitive, and look, I was with you. When I first saw the hat, I was like, yeah, it's a slogan hat. That's what they are. I understand differently now. I am blessed with enough people in my life who have different experience when it comes to what that hat means to them and how they feel they're represented in that dynamic. I get it. It's not just a hat. It shouldn't be, and that's why we got to know why the kids are wearing it there. But Andre, thank you for making the points. Angela, as always, be well. All right.
Thank you, Chris. See you.
Can you remember the last time that the White House had a daily briefing with the press? Remember we used to have them all the time? No. Why? Went the way of the dinosaur. The president says he gave the directive to stop the briefing. One thing that he will own. Why will he own this? Next. Amid a government shutdown, most politicians would take every opportunity to get their version of events in front of you. Traditionally, for the White House, that comes in the form of the daily press briefing. This president says, don't bother. He tweeted, the reason Sarah Sanders does not go to the podium much anymore is that the press covers her so rudely and inaccurately, in particular certain members of the press. I told her not to bother. Word gets out anyway. Most will never cover us fairly, and hence the term fake news. The daily briefings were already getting closer to a mere monthly happening instead of daily. Let's bring in D. Lemon. There is one thing that the president's leaving out in his analysis, and it happens to matter the most. The point of the briefing isn't for the president's position to get spewed out there and spread. It's for it to be tested by the people. Right. See, he overlooks that because he has very little appetite for it.
It's a convenient response to, but let's just remember, right? The impetus, the start. More people at this inauguration, period, ever, whatever. It started, the first one, which was not really a question, it just came out and there was a statement, was a lie. That was spicy. And that was spicy. But it went on